Have you ever stopped to ponder the true cost of genocide, not just in lives lost, but in the lingering effects that echo through the generations? Genocide, a term that sends shivers down the spine, a term that stands as a reminder of humanity's darkest hours. It's not just about the immediate devastation, the lives brutally cut short. It is also about the long-term implications, the cultural erosion, the societal scars persist long after the physical wounds have healed. Take a moment to think about this, to consider the ripple effects that spread out, touching countless lives for years, for centuries. Now, let us narrow our focus to a specific event, a chapter in human history that is often overlooked. The Herero and Namaqua Genocide in Namibia, the first of the 20th century. In the next few minutes, we will unravel the tragic tale of the Namaqua Genocide and its enduring impact on Namibia. And remember, if you found this information valuable and you'd like to delve deeper into such significant topics, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification button to stay updated with our newest releases. Also, we would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Feel free to share your insights, opinions, or questions in the comments section below. The year was 1904. Namibia, then known as German Southwest Africa, was under the iron fist of German colonial rule. Imagine, if you will, a land rich in resources, beauty, and cultural diversity, yet beneath the surface of this seemingly idyllic setting, a storm was brewing, a storm that threatened to shake the very foundations of this land and its people. The German colonial government, driven by a voracious appetite for wealth and power, had implemented a series of oppressive policies. The land was seized, the resources exploited, and the native Herero and Namaqua people were stripped of their dignity and rights. Their once thriving communities were reduced to a state of servitude, their culture and way of life systematically suppressed. But the human spirit is resilient. It yearns for freedom, for justice. And so, pushed to the brink, the Herero and Namaqua people began to rise. They began to resist. They began to fight back. In the face of brutal oppression, they chose to stand up, to say no more. This was no small feat. It was a monumental act of courage. The initial uprising was a beacon of hope, a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Herero and Namaqua people. It was a spark that ignited a flame that threatened to consume the oppressive colonial rule. But this flame was also a beacon that drew the attention of the German colonial government, and they did not take kindly to this act of defiance. They saw it as a threat, as a challenge to their authority. They saw it as an opportunity to tighten their grip, to assert their dominance, to quell any and all resistance. And so the stage was set for a brutal response, set for a conflict that would leave a lasting scar on the face of Namibia, set for a genocide that would result in one of the darkest chapters in human history. The stage was set for a brutal response that would result in one of the darkest chapters in human history. In retaliation to the uprising, the German colonial forces launched a campaign of extermination against the Herero and Namaqua people. It was a dreadful period, a dark chapter in the annals of history where humanity was lost to the winds of war and prejudice. Under the command of Lieutenant General Lothar von Trotha, the German forces issued the infamous extermination order. It was a chilling decree, one that allowed no quarter for mercy or compassion. The Herero and Namaqua people were no longer seen as human beings. They were reduced to targets, objects of a relentless, merciless onslaught. The mass killings that ensued were horrific. Men, women, and children alike were caught in this storm of violence, their lives snuffed out like candles in the wind. The echoes of their cries still resonate in the silent whispers of the Namibian landscape, a haunting reminder of the atrocities committed. But the horrors didn't end there. Those who managed to survive the initial onslaught were forced into a death march. They were driven into the inhospitable expanses of the Omaheke Desert, a barren land where survival was a cruel joke played by fate. Deprived of food and water, countless innocent lives were lost to the unforgiving desert sands. This was not a war. It was a systematic and deliberate attempt at wiping out entire ethnic groups, a genocide that bared its teeth in the face of humanity, gnawing away at the very fabric of civilization. By the end of this gruesome genocide, up to 80% of the Herero and half of the Nama population were wiped out. It was a price too steep, a loss too great. The echoes of their silent screams still reverberate in the hearts of their descendants, a grim reminder of the price of genocide. The genocide ended, but its impact did not. This line, poignant in its simplicity, sets the stage for the exploration of the lingering legacy of the genocide in Namibia. The immediate aftermath of the genocide was devastating, but the long-term effects, they were even more profound. The loss of life was immense, yes, but the loss of land and resources was equally catastrophic. Namibia, a country rich in natural beauty and resources, found itself stripped of its wealth. The land, once a source of sustenance, was now a reminder of the loss and devastation. But the impact did not stop at the physical. The cultural practices, the traditions that held the fabric of Namibian society together, they too were disrupted. Genocide does not just kill people, it kills cultures, traditions, ways of life. It seeks to erase a people's history, their identity. And in Namibia, it nearly succeeded. However, the most insidious effect of the genocide perhaps was the psychological trauma. Generations of Namibians grew up under the shadow of this horrific event. The trauma was passed down from parent to child like a grim inheritance. The emotional and psychological scars ran deep, affecting not just the individuals, but the collective psyche of the nation. This is the lingering legacy of the genocide in Namibia. It is not just about the lives lost, but about the lives changed, the society altered. It is about the loss of a way of life, the disruption of a culture, the psychological scars that remain. It is about a nation struggling to come to terms with its past, striving to heal, to rebuild, to remember. The scars of the genocide are still visible in Namibia today, over a century later. They are reminders of a past that should not be forgotten, of a history that must be acknowledged, of a legacy that needs to be addressed. The journey to healing is long, but it is a journey that Namibia continues to embark on with courage, resilience and hope. For years, the Herero and Nama people have been seeking recognition and reparation for the genocide. A relentless struggle, a fight against the odds, and a battle for justice that continues to echo through the corridors of time. The Herero and Nama have been tirelessly working to get the German government to acknowledge the atrocities committed during the early 20th century. Their quest is not just about recognition, but also about reparation. The scars of the past cannot simply be wiped away with a mere acknowledgement. They seek tangible measures to rectify the damages inflicted upon their ancestors and their land. They demand reparations to rebuild what was lost and restore what was taken. In recent years, we've seen this fight escalate into legal battles, with the Herero and Nama people taking their case to the courts. They're not just fighting for themselves, but for every single individual who suffered, every family torn apart, every culture demolished by the horrors of genocide. Yet it's not only about the courtroom battles. The Herero and Nama have also taken their fight to the streets, organizing protests, marches and rallies. They've used their voices, their stories and their unwavering resolve to draw the world's attention to their cause. They've shown us that the fight for justice is not a sprint, but a marathon, a long and arduous journey that demands resilience and determination. Their struggle has been marked by setbacks and disappointments, but they have not faltered. They've continued to push forward, refusing to be silenced, refusing to let the memories of their ancestors fade into oblivion. As we delve into this fight for recognition and reparation, we're reminded of the deep-seated impacts of genocide. We see the ripple effects of a dark past, the shadows it casts on the present, and the urgency to rectify the wrongs of history. The fight for justice continues, reminding us that the price of genocide is a debt that remains unpaid. This fight, their fight, is a stark reminder that the echoes of the past still reverberate in the present, and the call for justice, for recognition and reparation, is a call we cannot afford to ignore. In the past few minutes, we've journeyed through a tragic chapter in Namibia's history. We've revisited the dark dawn that marked the onset of a brutal genocide, a horrifying event that unfolded with shocking intensity and left an indelible mark on the land and its people. We've delved into the lingering legacy of this event, a painful reminder of a past that still haunts the present. We've also explored the tireless fight for recognition and reparation, a battle waged by the descendants of the Herero and Nama people. Their struggle is a testament to their resilience and an urgent call for justice, a call that echoes across the years and resonates with us today. Their story, though steeped in sorrow, is also one of strength and survival. It's a narrative that compels us to face the harsh realities of our shared history, to acknowledge the wrongs of the past, and to strive for a future where such atrocities are relegated to the annals of history, never to be repeated. As we reflect on the price of the Herero and Nama genocide, we are reminded that the true cost of such atrocities is immeasurable and enduring.